Hi and welcome to the episode. In this episode, it's kind of like the last one. We look at a typhoon coming through here, but spoiler alert, this one gets bad. We had a Category 3 typhoon go through here yesterday. You wouldn't know it right now. But yeah, it was, you can see there's damage, a lot of damage all over the place. So that's what we're going to do in this episode. But first, intro. Alrighty, let's hook into this episode. It's kind of like deja vu. I literally just did this in the last episode. We've got a typhoon coming in. The last one was a Category 4 typhoon and it went about 100 miles, 150 kilometers north of here. And we got about 40 to 50 knots of wind in off the ocean. There was a little bit of damage. There was some salt burn on some of the trees and our vegetables. But this time we've got a Category 2 typhoon, but it looks like it's going to be pretty much a direct hit. You can see the Parao there. I've pulled the mast off the Parao, did that yesterday. I'm going to pull down the Wi-Fi antenna this afternoon, keep doing our cyclone prep, tidy stuff up, and tomorrow is Christmas Day. And for Christmas this year, we get a typhoon. So I'm going to document this just like I did in the last episode. We've got 24 hours to go before peak winds, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Don't know which direction the wind's going to come from because it's going to be a direct hit. So, typhoon number 2. Here we go. One of the strange things about having typhoons come through is that there's a false sense of security, given that it's only 24 hours before it's going to be whatever the winds get up to. The forecast showing up to 70, 75 knots, like 150 kilometers an hour. But right now we've got maybe 5 knots, 10 kilometers an hour of wind, blue skies, sunshine. But in 24 hours, it's not going to be like this at all. But right now, standing here, you just wouldn't know. It's only because of modern technology, long-range forecasts and all that, that we can actually tell that tomorrow is going to be unpleasant. And that is our Wi-Fi antenna. That's not going to stay up there, so I'm going to have to take that down. But the problem is, as soon as I take that down, we lose internet. So that can come down tonight. The winds are going to increase, like midnight, it's going to start to really ramp up, and then I think peak's going to be mid-morning tomorrow. It's almost like exactly the same as this last typhoon, except 70 knots, direct hit. Bit of a difference. So, never been through the eye of a typhoon. I think I've been through about 30 typhoons in 24 years of living in the tropics, in Australia, in Southeast Asia, but never been through the eye. So maybe this is the one that I get to see the eye of a typhoon. Let's find out. Okay, so it's mid-afternoon now. Still no wind. It's like 5 knots, if that. And it's got grey and overcast. Still hasn't started raining. It's got an eerie feel to it. It's a real calm before the storm feeling. You can see some of the fishing boats have been pulled up. They'll pull the rest up over the next few hours, I'd say. And they're starting to disconnect some of the outriggers from some of them to really make sure that they don't get blown away. The forecast's changing, switching whether it's going to go south or north of us or we're going to get a direct hit, but either way it's going to be a good one. They're looking at up to 85 knot gusts, which is 150 kilometers an hour, and it looks like we are going to probably get the eye of the typhoon. So we've done all our prep. My boat is tied to a tree and now all we can do is just wait and deal with whatever comes our way. In the meantime, I think it's time for a beer. Merry Christmas! I think we've got about 60 knots now, and really big waves, and quite heavy rain. Power in that wind is really incredible. It's sounds like a freight train. I'm sure you can hear it. Getting a lot of rain, and we're thinking probably another hour or two before it starts to back off. But at the moment, it's intense out there. Looks like we're hitting peak winds about now. It's swung right around to the east. The Kubo roof's starting to lift. Not sure if the Kubo's going to survive. The net's come off the roof here. So yeah, I think the next half hour or so is going to be the strongest winds that we're going to get. Hopefully after that it starts to go to the south and we get a bit of protection from the mountain, and hopefully the wind's back off. But at the moment, it's really blowing. I wouldn't even want to guess how strong it is out there. I think I might go back inside. Alright, it's now 12 o'clock, definitely past peak winds, and we've got a little bit of a reprieve. It's backed right off, but we've got a lot of stuff that's come down. That's our driveway, completely blocked. Pretty much the whole fence has fallen down. I think what's going on at the moment is that mountain or that hill up there is protecting us from the wind as it goes around. From the north it's gone around to the east. Oh, and the lens got wet. Sorry about that. And it's gone around to the east now, and I think it's we keep going around to the south, and hopefully that's the end of it for us. But yeah, you can see there's trees down everywhere. There's a tree down over there. They've all come down here. We've got like a lot of trees down through all of that. And that's just here. Just went and checked with my friends next door, and they've got like 30 people on their veranda. I'm guessing, I haven't spoken to anybody about it yet, but I'm guessing the resort next door has had some structural issues, and so all the guests have just come down here because these buildings are fairly strong, and everything's stood up. You can see that the roof's lost its netting on both houses, but everybody's safe and well, which is the most important thing. Good morning. Got my coffee. It's just on sunrise, day after the typhoon, and we really got that one. That was a good one. We've got a lot of damage around the place. That's our driveway. It's completely blocked. All the fences are down. All the netting that holds the thatch down on the roof has been ripped off. All three buildings are like that. All three buildings got completely flooded out. But there's no structural damage. Nearly every tree has suffered damage. A lot of big trees are over, and that's just this property. What's happened elsewhere is horrible. The resort next door is gone. The village is like half of the village is gone. I'll go and do some filming in a little while, but it's very emotional. I didn't film yesterday afternoon when it calmed down because it seemed disrespectful. Somehow, maybe I should have filmed it to document it, but I just wasn't comfortable with people crying and hugging and houses just flat, nothing higher than your knee. It used to be a home. But I'll go and film that later. This is going to take a while to clean this up. We've got no internet. We don't know what the peak winds were. We didn't get the eye. It went to the south of us, so we got probably, just guessing, 70, 80, 90 knots, maybe more, don't know. But it was enough that it's affected everybody, and this is going to take a while to fix. We've obviously got no electricity, we've still got no service, so the cell towers have obviously been taken out, so we can't tell everybody that we're okay. As far as we know, nobody was killed here, but I'd say people will have had a pretty rough time. So anyway, I'm going to start cleaning up now, finish my coffee, and then I'll go and get some video of the damage. What about 70 or 80 knots, 150, 160 kilometre an hour winds, whatever they were, can do. Wasn't very pleasant. It was a bad day, but that's life on a tropical island. My friend Rudy just dropped in. Unfortunately, a tree's come down on his house, so got the chainsaw. He's asked me to cut it up so they can start rebuilding. You can hear people already starting to rebuild. So, I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to wander over there now and help him out. Bit of a nasty one, you know, that's life. This is really emotional. It's actually hard to film. I don't even want to talk to the camera right now, but I've got to say something. Everyone's affected by this. These guys really copped it full force. All the banana trees are gone, all the vegetables are gone, a lot of livestock's been killed, people have been hurt. No one's been killed that I've heard of yet. And I've got to start chainsawing and helping clear some of this fallen foliage. Even just walking here was hard. The path was blocked, there's trees down everywhere. Full on. This is Rudy, my friend's sister-in-law's house, and she's lost the roof. You can see this structure that was outside has collapsed. If you look inside, you can see the roof's gone. Where do you start? Where do you even start? Sorry, Paul.
Signal.
Yeah, well. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, this is crazy. Full on. Really bad damage. So Rudy's request for a chainsaw for a tree that come down kind of got lost in translation a bit. Tree didn't fall on his house, which is good. Bamboo did. But it's the trees across the path here that we need to clear, so I'll grab the chainsaw and give the lads a hand so that the path can be reopened. There's about 4 trees that need to be cut up. Anyway, here we go. So this is at the front of our place. See, whole top of that one's gone. Lost that one there as well. We lost a big branch off this big tree here. But the real story out here is what's going on down there. That's the resort next door, and apparently it's not there anymore. They had a bunch of bungalows, and they had a restaurant and a bar. And the bungalows came apart. All the guests went to the restaurant, and then the restaurant collapsed. So they all got out, they all came here to our place, or to my friend Simon's place. But I'm just going to wander down and film it, see what it looks like. So there's a couple of bungalows that are still standing, but yeah, these ones are they're all down. Yeah, and these ones are all down too. And yeah, the restaurant's collapsed. That's going to be a bit of a rebuild. Yeah, this has all come down. Hello. Pretty strong winds. Look at that water. Yesterday that had like massive waves breaking through it. We had a 1,000,000-knot wind blowing. Now, no wind, flat water. That's bizarre. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the roof on this has definitely come down. Yeah, so that used to be the bar and restaurant next door at the Tublos Point Resort. There's still a few people hanging out the front. There's a little bit there that they can use, but yeah, that whole back part of the roof's collapsed. So you can see these are the South Africans that own the resort next door, and they're handing out presents to the local kids, which is nice, especially after a day like yesterday. I think this is exactly what we need. Beautiful, beautiful gesture. Yeah, it looks like the South Africans got a bit of work ahead of them to rebuild that. The whole beach smells of dead fish. Must be a lot of dead fish lying around. Can't really see any. But, so we've helped clear 4 trees off the path to my friend's Rudy's place and his family area. We've opened the driveway so we can get the motorcycles in and out now. And I think it's time for a coffee. This cleanup's going to take days. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it is what it is. Alright, I've had my coffee. The driveway's open. I'm going to take the scooter into the village and I'll have a look at people's houses. What's left of them. Pretty sad. So you can see this is the story throughout the village. A lot of houses have been flattened. That one's gone. You can see down there's another one that's gone. The concrete ones have survived, but the wooden ones have not survived. It's going to be a lot of work for these people, and they don't have much money. It's tough. How do I sum this episode up? Gee, that was an emotional one. Okay, so in conclusion, that was us pretty much getting a direct hit from a Category 3 typhoon. We don't have internet, it's still out. We don't have electricity, we've got the generator running. But I can't check how close it went and how strong it got. But yeah, suffice to say, it was forecast to go 90 to 110 knots, like up near 200 kilometers an hour, and I'd say it probably got pretty close to that, if not got there. That wind at that strength becomes like an actual tangible force. It was crashing through here like waves. It was literally like waves. There's so much water, and the strength of the wind, it was like waves hitting things, not wind. It was so much power in those big typhoons, and that was only a Category 3. So sad what's happened in the village. Sad for the South Africans next door. Yeah, so anyway, if you don't want to click on the like button, I completely understand. But hitting the subscribe button will help you find future videos that I post. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the episode. I've really got nothing else to say. See you next time. Bye. Hi.